Alright everyone, want to thank you all for coming back for some more Umineko. If anything guys, I'm of the belief starting from this episode onwards, it's gonna start having like a strong development between Battler and Beatrice. Because we were receiving hints of it during the intro, the intro theme, where I believe they're like, I guess, tragic lovers, I don't know. And I believe that this whole story between her past and whatnot is gonna start the whole train moving with Battler finally starting to feel something for her, because all he's known of her thus far was that she's this evil murderous witch. We don't know her full story yet. So something's telling me that as these episodes go on, he's gonna start feeling more and more for her, and you know, vice versa for her as well. And it's probably gonna make this whole game of theirs even more problematic, because now I guess they're committed to it. He's committed to believing she's not a witch. She's committed to convincing him she is, and also torturing him through and through. But we all know down the line something's gonna change there, and it's gonna be both magical and tragic. Not certain for sure, but I feel like that's how it's gonna play out. So if anything else guys, thank you for listening to my ramblings. Again, this is all conjecture, who knows? And well, if anything, we'll continue on right now. So again, thank you all for the love and support, and here we go. Alright everyone, and we are back. That it didn't view this kid as her child, but as her reincarnation. Maybe that's what it meant. If you interpret it that way, even a story that weird might make a little sense. No. This might be some BS Beato cooked up to confuse me. As if I could accept any of this. In the first place, Quadorian, was it? There's no proof whatsoever that a hidden mansion actually existed. Couldn't this be something she just fabricated on the spot?
六軒島の森の中には、クワドリアンという隠し屋敷が実在します。
Oh, so he too can use truth in red?
それが今、話をしていた場所です。
Okay, so it doesn't just specifically belong to Beatrice then.
赤!
Ronov used the red to say that Quadorian actually existed. Did that mean the same thing as the red Beato used?
これでも悪魔の端くれでございますので、お嬢様には内緒にしてくださいね。
See, when he words it that way, it makes me think, yes, you're a demon, so that means you can also be lying. Like, his truth in red could just as much be a lie as much as Beato's, you know? Alright. I'm gonna go with the assumption for now that no matter what, red is the truth. Even though a part of me shouldn't believe everything that is said. I'm gonna go with that assumption for now. Beato, who knew I would try to trip her up, had grown extremely cautious when using red. To think that Ronov could also use that red. Of course, it's the red of a crafty man. I don't know how far I can accept it. See, even Beato, even Battler knows not to truly accept the red. But anyway, I might be able to get some hint out of it.
このクワドリアンの庭でくつろいでるベアトとさっきのじい様との会話は真実なのか？
はい、真実です。かつて実際にこの場所でお二人はこのような会話をなされました。
Wait, in the meta world or in their little gazebo-like area by the mansion?
助かるぜ。さらに赤で頼む。あいつホムンクルスから生まれたなんて言いやがったが、そんな非科学的な魔法的存在、実在するのか？
その問いかけにはお答えできません。
Are you gonna play that game too, huh, Ronald?
理由は、ステイルメイトになるからでございます。
ステイルメイト？なんだそりゃ。
チェスの用語で、千日手のパーペチュアルと同様に、それ以上のゲーム進行が不可能になる宣言です。これは、千日手とは正反対で、指し手がなくなる、ある種の手詰まりの状態を指します。パーペチュアルに同じで、チェスではこれを引き分けにしております。ただし、お嬢様とバトラ様のゲームでは引き分けがございません。ですので、 ステイルメイトになる質問には赤でお答えすることができないのです。
よくわからねえこと言って煙に巻いてるが。つまり、ホモンクルスなんて魔法的存在が実在するって、赤で言えないからごまかしてるだけなんだろ？
仮に私が赤で魔女は実在すると言ったら、バトラ様はどういたしますか？
それを信じるか信じないかで、俺たちは大喧嘩してるんじゃねえかよ。それを言われちまったら、身も蓋もないぜ。ゲームオーバーだ。
魔女は存在すると赤で申し上げたなら、バトラ様には反論の余地がありません。しかしバトラ様は、その理由が示されない以上、それを受け入れないでしょう。しかし、赤で語られる以上、反論の余地もなく、証拠も示されない。
But that doesn't mean he has to believe all of the red either. Again, just because she says it's in red doesn't mean it's the truth.
この場合、バトラ様は、敗北を認められないにもかかわらず、反論の手がなく、手詰まりとなってしまいます。
Well, he could make a counter argument. Like I said, he could use his own truth in a color.
チェックメイトされていないにもかかわらず、次なる指し手が存在しない。
But he's right about this. It could also cause, what do you call it, stalemate.
バトラ様が次の一手を打てない以上、お嬢様に手番が回ってくることはなく、ゲームはそこで永遠に止まってしまう。その結果、お嬢様があなたを屈服させることもできない。これが手詰まりの状態です。それを回避するため、このような形になるご質問には、赤でお答えすることができないのです。
早い話が、身も蓋もない質問は禁止だと、そう言いたいわけだな。まあ、そりゃそうだよな。赤で魔女は実在するって言われちまったら、俺は鼻からお手上げだぜ。
ご理解いただけて助かります。他の形の質問でしたら、ご協力できるかと思いますよ。
奴がはぐらかした副賞要求には答えられるか？この島の人数だ。
お嬢様が保留されている副賞要求にも、もちろん答えられませんよ。お嬢様の家具でございますので、出過ぎた真似はできかねます。
Ronov made an exaggerated gesture trying to act like a loyal retainer. This guy is so shameless.
一瞬でも使えるやつと思ったのによ。諦めて他の質問を探すか。そうだ。
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, you can just rephrase that question a different way and he might be able to answer you.
大事なことを確認するのを忘れてた。これは、ベアとの思い出話なんだろ？いつの話なんだ？まさか現在ってことはないだろ。
はい。ここは1967年の世界。
1967, huh?
19年前の世界でございます。
Let's go through the story one more time. I wonder if it couldn't be something like this. Grandfather had a person with whom he fell in unrequited love called Beatrice. And he confined her in this hidden mansion and continually courted her. But she was stubborn and didn't say yes. Eventually, she grew pessimistic about being unable to escape from here, and probably committed suicide. And then, her soul was put in a homunculus and... No. If I accept that, it's the same as accepting the witch. I can interpret that part like this. She probably left a daughter behind when she died. That talk about the soul being put in a new body probably meant that grandfather raised that child believing it to be the reincarnation of Beatrice. In that case, Beato must have existed on this island for at least the last 19 years as the 19th person, and then...
混乱してきたぜ。いずれにせよ、憶測の域を出ない。確実に赤で言えることは、1967年の六軒島の隠し屋敷に、人間としてのベアトリーチェが存在した。それだけだ。
その通りでございます。1967年の六軒島の隠し屋敷に、人間としてのベアトリーチェ様が存在した。
ああ、サンキュー。助かるぜ。
おめでとうございます。これでバトラ様の19人目の駒は、その存在がはっきりしました。
We kinda knew that already, though. I think it's just nice to get a confirmation out of it after 2 episodes.
バトラ様が熱望された18人以外に罪をなすりつけられる19人目の人間。
Not yet.
いかなる罪をもなすりつけることのできる生贄の羊。それがお嬢様とは実に愉快。
Ronov laughed indiscreetly. Somehow, I didn't like his phrasing, so I didn't feel like laughing along with him. Exactly, it's like he's goading me to keep blaming her, and I know that's not the case. I mean, obviously, she has something to do with it. There's more to this story. So, I will never be jumping to conclusions like that. Not like how he wants me to.
そうだ。ローザおばさんは言った。ベアトリーチェは死んだ？私が殺した？どういう意味なんだ？
それは私の口から語るよりも、実際に顛末をご覧になった方が早いでしょう。少々、時計を進めましょう。
Ronov pulled a stylish pocket watch from his pocket and made to wind the crown. As soon as he did, I saw gold butterflies gather behind Ronov's back and take the form of a person. Was it Beato? I quickly realized that it was someone else. It was her. That oldest sister of the 7 stakes who loved tormenting me more than anything else. If I don't think myself lucky to see that sexy ass, I won't be able to play along with their torture game.
ロノウェ様、まだこちらにおられましたか。ベアトリーチェ様が至急お呼びです。
はて、至急のどのようなご用やら、少々、バトラ様とのおしゃべりが過ぎたようですね。それではバトラ様、私めは、これで失礼させていただきます。どうか引き続き、お嬢様とのゲームをお楽しみください。
せいぜい楽しむぜ。あんたは、ベアトより話が弾むからな。赤も気前よく使ってくれるしよ。ぜひまた、おしゃべりに来いよな。
He doesn't necessarily use the red in the way we want it either, because he's mischievous. He's playing both of us actually. He's getting the best entertainment from whomever, makes him more amused.
バトラ様、私めも、こう見えてもお嬢様の家具。
And yet you enjoy disobeying her from time to time.
お嬢様が望まぬことはできませんよ。私が語った赤は、本来ならお嬢様が自らの口で語るべきもの。へそを曲げてしまわれたお嬢様に代わって、赤き真実を披露したに過ぎません。
やっぱ俺、へそを曲げてたよな。
Seeing me and Ronov incomprehensibly hitting it off, that 7 stakes chick cocked their head slightly.
ロノウェ様、ベアトリーチェ様をお待たせしております。お急ぎを。
ええ、直ちに参ります。それではバトラス様、後ほど。ようやく仲良くなれてきましたね。やはり、良い友人になれる気がします。
And that in itself, people, is a scary thought.
ベアトの陰口仲間ってことならな。
ロノウェ様
はいはい。それでは、失礼いたします。
Maybe it was because she really didn't like seeing him act friendly with me, or maybe it was because she had really been told to hurry. The Seven Snakes babe bellowed sharply at Ronov, and he laughed foolishly and disappeared, as if running away.
Huh. 煉獄の七杭が長女のこの私が、この程度の用事で呼びつけられるなんて。ベアトリーチェ様も、この程度なら他の暇そうな妹たちに言いつければいいのに。
何をカリカリしてんだよ、姉ちゃん。腹減ってんなら、クッキーでも食えよ。最後の一枚をくれてやるぜ。
気が利くじゃない。なら、一ついただこうかしら。
I lightly pushed the snack plate with the last remaining cookie on it over to her.
ありがとう。
As though coming as a replacement for the period at the end of the sentence, a sharp sound pierced the table. The nails of 3 of her fingers had sharply extended and were stuck a hair's breadth into the gaps between my fingers on the hand I had used to push the plate. It had happened in an instant, so for a while, I didn't even realize that her fingernails had grown. The tips of those sharp nails were like blades with a red manicure. The spaces between the bases of my fingers prickled. Those razor-like blades were sticking sharply into the back of my hand and into the spaces between my fingers. By those 3 blades, my carelessly outstretched right hand was not even permitted to shake, and all I could do now was allow a single line of cold sweat to drip down.
姉ちゃん、そろそろ爪を切った方がいいぜ。
ルシファーよ。それが誇り高き私の名。ベアトリーチェ様にお仕えする名誉ある家具。煉獄の七杭が長女。他の面汚しな愚昧どもとはわけが違うの。それに見合った敬意を示さないと、後悔することになるわよ。
どう後悔するんだか。俺には見当もつかねえぜ。
バカな子ね。そんなに遊んでほしいの？そんなに忘れられないの？私の悔いを思いっきり奥の奥までねじ込んで、たっぷりえぐって楽しませてあげるわよ。
くそったれ。いつか押し倒して同じセリフ言ってやるぜ。
あらそう？楽しみにしてるわね。
She killed Battler again? Rosa eventually regained her calm. The men wanted to hurry her into talking faster, but Kide intervened. If something like she had just mentioned really had happened, it was an abominable past that she wouldn't want to remember. After taking several deep breaths with her hand over her chest, it seemed that she had more or less gathered the resolve to talk.
あれはいくつの時だったのかしら。多分、中学生か。とにかく、そのくらいの頃だったと思うわ。
ってことは、だいたい20年くらい前ってとこか。
あの頃の私は、あまり成績が良くなくて、いつも、お母様に怒られてばかりだった。私なりに努力していたつもりだったんだけど、お母様の期待には全然応えられなくて。
母上はローザにも随分厳しかったな。当時は同情していたよ。
陰口ばっかだったくせによく言うわね。
予算かエヴァ。それでローザさんはどこでベアトリーチェに会ったんや。
秀吉さん、今はせかしてはダメよ。いいのよ、ローザさん。楽に話して。
ありがとう。あれは、お母様に特にひどく叱られた日よ。
Even, excuse me guys, wow. Even though my tutor had promised to keep it a secret. Apparently, they told Mother all about how I had complained. Mother scolded me horribly, saying that I was a disgrace to the Ushinomiya family. Of course, I was doing the best I could, but I had none of Kraus Nissan's dignity. I couldn't get excellent grades like Eva Nessan, and I had no leadership like Rudolf Nissan. I never stood out, didn't particularly excel at anything, and I almost wanted to ask myself why I had even been born into the Ushinomiya family. I didn't know why I had been born. On that day, I had the experience of my mind going blank for the first time. For the first time since I was born, I realized that in addition to facing or surrendering to my problems, I had the third choice of running away. Even though I say run away, there was no way I could have left Rokenjima and gone somewhere else. But anyway, I wanted to run away from the mansion, and the way I was at the time, in a way, it was like running away from home, or maybe a half-hearted suicide.
いなくなりたかったの。あるいは、いなくなることによって、親を心配させたいという子供なりの反抗だったのかも。私は森の遥か奥に行けば後宮の家から逃れられる。あるいは迷子になって心配させることで仕返しができると子供ながらに思ったの。
それで行ってはいけないと言われていた森に？
ええ。浜辺へ出てから海に沿うように。特に理由があったわけじゃないけれど、島をぐるりと回ればその反対側には誰も知らない場所があって、私だけの隠れ家になるような気がしたの。
浜辺からぐるっとってのは無理だな。途中で崖になっちまうだろう。あんなとこ通れるわけがねえぜ。
もちろんよ。だから通れる方へ通れる方へ、とにかく奥へ奥へ進んだわ。道なんかないひどい森だったけど、あの時の私にはそれが心地よかったの。それほどの険しい森を抜けたなら、その分後宮家から逃れられるって、そんな気持ちだったの。
情けないわね。成績で叱られたならその分努力すればいいのに。
それを言ってはいかんね。その代わりローザにはデザイナーとしての才能があったじゃないか。
Literally, this could be taken as him covering for Rosa, but everyone knew that Rosa's company was not making any profits.
よせよ。今は嫌味を言ってる場合じゃねえぜ。そして偶然たどり着いちまったんだな。ベアトリーチェの隠し屋敷に。
Rosa nodded weakly.
どのくらい歩いたんや？地図で場所が示せるんか？夏さん、この島の地図はあるかいな？
いえ、今ここにはありませんが。
無理よ。適当に歩いただけだもの。地図を見せられたってわからないわ。それに、あれから20年も経ってる。多分森へ行っても、二度とたどり着けないわ。
Several people let out dejected sighs. It was vividly clear that in their haste, they had thought that some hint related to the witch's epitaph, or maybe even the gold itself, might be resting there in that hidden mansion.
六軒島はこの屋敷の周りが整地されているだけに過ぎねえ。他は完全に未開で、前頭測量は相当の手間がかかるだろうな。
でも確かに存在すると分かっただけでも収穫よ。お金はかかるだろうけど、例えば航空写真の会社に調査を頼むとか、このお屋敷を建設した業者に当時のことを聞くとか、調べる方法はあるかもしれないわね。そうね。あるかないかもわからないものを探すよりは、まだ方法があるはずよ。
早速調べる価値があるだろう。
その調査は兄弟合同でやるわよ。兄さん一人ではさせないわ。
It wasn't certain that the gold was hidden in that secret mansion, but it seemed that the fireworks between Kraus and Ava had already begun.
兄貴たち、 今はよせよ。ローザ、続きを話してくれ。
Blindly, randomly, I kept running on and on. Suddenly, it felt like I had come across something like an animal trail. I had no idea how far I'd walked, and I was very tired. So by then, I was just naturally taking the easiest path to walk on. I like this soundtrack. It's very smooth. As I did, suddenly right before my eyes, a very, very tall fence appeared. It was a fence wonderfully adorned in a gothic style. For an instant, I spun around, thinking that I might have returned to the original mansion. Of course, there were fences around the mansion to stop us from entering the forest. But this fence was decorated differently, and most of all, it was very tall. It probably reached a full 2 stories up. It was covered with ivy and created a mysterious solemn atmosphere. At the time, I believed the legend of the Witch of the Forest, Beatrice. I had been told that she was frightening, but some of the servants told me that she would sometimes help you if you respected her. Since I had started to lose confidence in how my life was going, I believed that the only way I could be saved was by receiving her help. So that's what made me think it. I believed that this was the fence at the mansion of Beatrice, the Witch of the Forest. I thought that if I could meet with Beatrice, she would definitely save me. Excuse me guys, sorry about that. So, I thought I would try to go in. But that fence was very, very tall, and it didn't look like I could go over it. So I decided to walk around it. I thought that if I did, I would eventually reach a gate. But it wasn't that easy. The fence had a length to match its height, and no matter how far I went, I didn't reach a corner. It might have been enclosing a very massive area. Or maybe, it just felt that way because my child's legs made it difficult to walk in the forest. Anyway, because I couldn't find a gate for a while, I started to feel sad as though the witch had rejected me. As I did, I eventually came upon a large tree whose twisted root had bent the fence. I might get my clothes dirty, but if I crawled, it looked like I would be able to sneak in.
あれが私たちの言う隠し屋敷なのかはわからない。でも少なくとも私たちの知る場所ではなかったわ。
It wasn't as though I came out into a garden as soon as I passed the fence. I had to continue through a lot more uncultivated forest after that. And then, the forest suddenly opened up. And what appeared there was an unbelievably fantastical scene. To think that Rokenjima, where I had believed no one other than us lived, had been hiding such a wonderful mansion. A beautiful flower garden spanned the front of the mansion. It was a flower garden of a completely different design from the rose garden we know so well and was very lovely. Of course, the mansion was also wonderful. It was 1 or 2 sizes smaller than ours, but it was very elegant and yet lovely mansion. Then, I saw her. I saw her sitting in a garden chair positioned to give a view of the flower garden wearing an elegant dress. It was that black dress embroidered in gold that we could later know from that portrait. I hadn't seen an elegant dress like that except in fairy tales and on the stage of musicals. That a person would be wearing as their normal clothes. That in itself seemed quite fantastical. That magical scene was enough to make me lose my sense of reality. If someone had told me then that it was a dream, I might have nodded obediently and waited to wake up in my bed. Since in my shock I had forgotten to hide myself, she eventually noticed me. At first, her expression was quite listless, but when she noticed me, her eyes opened very wide. It was only natural. I guessed that she didn't know had suddenly appeared. I automatically bowed my head, feeling that I should greet her and apologize for entering without permission.
そなたは誰か新しい庭師なのか
Those were the first words she said to me. That calmed me down a little bit, because I realized that she could be talked with. Because I hadn't been turned into a frog just by meeting her eyes, like the terrifying witch in that fairy tale.
ごめんなさい。勝手にお庭に立ち入って。すみません。
Man, Beatrice had a much softer voice back then. Not as intimidating.
そなたは誰か?
Alright guys, I'm going to end the video here for today. Thank you all for watching. When we come back, we're going to continue on between this little meeting between Rosa and Beatrice. So if anything else, thank you, and I'll see you all next time.